Hello everybody and welcome to FM Scout. I'm Mischievous Rogue, and this video is the first in a series of episodes documenting the hardest challenge saves in Football Manager 2017. But before we jump into the video, I'd just like to point you in the direction of my channel, Mischievous Rogue, which is currently running a Glasgow Rangers Simply the Best series. It's an unbiased view of Scottish football and throughout Europe to see how we get on throughout the leagues where mostly Celtic have been dominating. There's also a mixture of other videos on there, from how to get work permits to top 10 wonder kids. So please, after the video, if you feel like checking it out, it really means a lot to me. But let's jump back into this video. So there is around 7 or 8 clubs on national teams in Football Manager 2017 that have been deemed the hardest to get from point A, which is where they are, the lowest point, to the top of the tree. For instance, a national team from 0 to hero, which would be where they are now, to winning the World Cup, or a club like we are now, Hungerford Town Football Club, from the Vanarama Conference, National League South, to the Champions League. So it's quite a good save, really hard. You've got no money and no budget. So the way the video is going to work, we're going to run through the finances, the board and the team, and just see what we've got and any advice that can help you get the club up the leagues. It'd be interesting in the comments below, if you do go Hungerford Town, to let us know how you got on, and also any advice for anybody that goes Hungerford Town. So, what about Hungerford Town? So, after 130 years in the lower leagues, they finally made it into the big leagues. They finally made it into the professional leagues. So, they're a semi-professional club, local reputation, they've got absolutely zero finances, but they've made it up after 130 years, which is absolutely fantastic. And little clubs like this make this game a lot of fun. So you can see the owner loves the club. They've got a value of 130k. Average ticket price is £9. Season ticket price is £132. They were formed in 1886, and they've actually got no rivals because they've been playing most of the time in the sort of lower leagues, but they've got one icon, which is Charlie Austin. We all know Charlie Austin is obviously plays for Southampton, so he actually played for Hungerford Town way back in the day. The media prediction for Hungerford Town is obviously 17th, which is not good, it's not good for the club, but it's good for you because it gives you a set of boundaries that you can go, right, the media's predicting 17, so the board might predict something around that time. Anything better is a bonus, and the club hopefully will keep you on. So what have they got facilities wise? Well, they've got a 2,500 stadium, only 300 seats though. The conditions average, they've got no undersoil heating, no roof, it's pretty poor condition. Basic corporate facilities, poor training facilities, and basic youth facilities as well. Minimal junior coaching, limited youth recruitment. So you can see you've got a lot to work with. If you get more money, you can improve the training facilities and hopefully recruit more coaches, more youth players, and start making money that way, because this club is essentially going to become a loan club, free transfer club, or a selling club in the future. It will take you a long time to get to the big leagues where you actually sell players for a decent amount of money or buy players. Affiliates, you're actually in luck here because the club is affiliated with Reading and Swindon Town. So you've got a local partnership with Reading, which players are loaned, which is fantastic, and you don't have to pay them any money. And also you've got a local affiliate with Swindon, which again you can loan players from them if they want to. This is mostly for young players, so I would delve straight into that and try and get loans from Swindon and Reading, which is it's a good link to have. They are high flying clubs in the Championship and Sky Bet League One. So the board then, as I said, the owner loves the club. He absolutely loves it. How are you going to perform in competitions? Well, let's see. So the Vanarama National League South, the minimum expectation is that team avoid relegation back down. Well, let's hope that's as I said, the media predicted 17th. The chairman wants you to avoid relegation. That's your first key aim, and I think you can achieve it in your first season, and then it's all about building after that. FA Cup, 4th qualifying round. Get your team some money by playing quite defensively in the Cup. Get those big clubs drawn against you and help save the season essentially. So the FA Trophy as well. The minimum expectation is that the team reach the first round of the FA Trophy. A lot of hard competitions in that trophy, while the younger sort of lower league teams, so it'll be very hard, but it's a good challenge to set yourself. Finances, what have we got to work with? So overall balance is £8,476. Not a lot of money. They've got £1,000 transfer budget and £2,679 wage budget. You're only spending £1,632 of that. Again, if you can get some loan players with the club actually paying their own wages, you could be sorted. So debts and loans, no debts and loans, which is fantastic, and your sponsorship is only 10k, but it's only for 2 years. If you do well in the FA Cup and the FA Trophy, along with the league, you will get a decent sponsorship deal, especially if you sign any sort of up-and-coming players that attract shirt sales to your club. Projection, you're predicted mostly to lose money over the season, but that's up to you to do well in the Cups. What sort of staff have we got to help us? Well, you can see that you get 3 coaching staff, and it's actually one of the best coaching staffs within the division. You've got yourself as the manager, you've got Jamie Leacock as assistant manager, and you've got Ian Hobbs, the goalkeeping coach. All 3, including yourself, depends on what level you put it at, but your 2 coaches is actually pretty good. Scouting staff, you need to get at least 1 scout, and you've got room for a doctor, a sports scientist, and another physio. I suggest at this level you probably get another physio to help with all the injuries, because as we know, it's a rough and tumble in the lower leagues. You will get a lot of injuries, so I suggest hiring another physio there. Doesn't matter the skill level, just fill the gap. Absolute nightmare if you're going to try and scout players with no scouts, but also when you start getting those injuries and start stacking up, you definitely need someone else on the team. So player wise, what have we got to work with Hungerford Town? In 130 years, they've had 1 decent player, which is obviously Charlie Austin, but actually, when we dig into the squad, they've got 1 quite good player that could help you get promoted, but we'll dig into under-18s first. So, there you go. There's absolutely 0 players in their under-18s. The greyed out players can be offered contracts, which might be a way to get some more players if you start getting injuries, but also you could be able to sell these players for minimum money, i.e. £500, £100, £1,000. This will give you a bit of leeway. They won't cost too much wages, but also earn you a little bit of coin as you go on the season. So if you feel like it, offer some of these guys contracts and then try and sell them on, because people in your division will start buying them, and you never know, you might offer a contract to a young superstar. So the under 23s, again, you've got the greyed out players as well, but you've got 2 hot prospects. You've got James Rusby and Devontae Romeo. So we'll have a quick look at both of them. You can see 19 years old, James Rusby. He can play centre half or centre mid, most favourably at centre mid. He's wanted already by Dorchester Town. His stats are not amazing, as nobody really in this division is. He's got 14 acceleration, 14 pace, that's all he's got going for him, and tackling 12. So decent at centre half, not very good at midfield because he's passing 7. And you can see most of the players at your club have not got a contract. They're contractless, so you can see he's got no run out date. So you may want to, any good players, try them, tie them down to a contract. But he's played 40 games already and scored 2 goals. But he's rated quite highly by your club, and again he's a hot prospect. So Devontae Romeo, again he's 20 years old, nothing much going for him as well. He's got 12 pace, 12 acceleration, and if you look at the rest of his stuff, 8 crossing, 5 technique. That's about it. He can play right wing and he can play up front, but he's rated as a hot prospect as well, and he's not tied down to a contract either. He's played for 3 clubs, Highmoor Ibis, Marlow, and obviously Hungerford Town. He scored 5 goals for Marlow last season before obviously he went to Hungerford Town, but again, hot prospect, you never know, time down to a contract and you might be able to get a bit of money for him. But yeah, a player that could develop is all I will say, and with a little bit of pace, you never know. So that is your basically under 23s team. 2 potential people to sell on and hopefully make some money. So your big squad then. You've got 3 really good players. We won't go through the whole team, but your best player, without a shadow of a doubt, is Nicky Shorey. For those of you to remember, he won 2 caps for England and he's played for 12 clubs over his career. He started off at Leyton Orient, then he played for Reading, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Fulham, West Brom, Reading, Bristol, Portsmouth, Pune City in India, Colchester United, and then Hungerford Town. His stats are absolutely fantastic for this division. Not get the best acceleration or pace, but everything else is pretty good. His free kick taking's good, 14. His corners are good, so you can already see he's going to be your sort of free kick corner taking specialist. His marking's 11, passing 11, penalty taking 11, tackling 11. He's got 13 teamwork, 13 vision, 12 determination, 11 concentration, good anticipation at 12, his balance is 12, natural fitness 11, stamina 11, strength 7. So his strength lets him down slightly. He's 35 years old. He's not tied down to a contract, but he's a key player. You can see potential ability 5, current ability 5. If you can offer him a contract, then try and offer him a contract. He's been all over. He made his international debut at 2007. He's been all over the world. He knows the score. He's definitely your best player. Veteran fullback. I would make him, if you can, captain. I know his leadership's only 10, but his experience shouts above everything else. That's Nicky Shorey. He is your best player, but he's 35. And you can see if you highlight on the side, it tells you out of contract, which is quite a lot of players out of contract because you're a semi-professional club. As I go down all these players, a lot of them are wanted and out of contract, which means other clubs are obviously sniffing around them. So try and tie these guys down if you can to some form of contract. Okay, your other second best player is Reece Taylor. The good thing about him, even though he is down as a sort of fullback, he can play a multitude of positions. He can be left and right back. He can also play sort of defensive wing back. He can also play left and right mid, but he's predominantly a right back. So you've got Nicky Shorey on the left and you've got Reece Taylor on the right, which is absolutely fantastic. His stats don't look good, nothing to shout home about apart from his acceleration and his pace, but the club rate him highly, which has got potential ability 5, which means to me he's going to go up slightly in this division. He's got 7 work rate and 8 determination, which is good for this division. Hopefully that'll creep up. He's played around the world. He's played in Germany, Oberhausen, Erfurt, Rode, Weiss, Erfurt. He started off at Reading, so he's got a bit of worldly experience about him. He scored a few goals, 110 games, 3 goals. Not much more you can say about him apart from that little bit of experience, but again, try and tie him down to a contract. But here's your second best player. Your third best player is actually on loan from one of your clubs, one of your affiliated clubs, Reading. You see, we've got this link to Reading, remember. So he's your goalkeeper, George Legg. Youngster, getting some experience. His agility 16, jumping reach 14, strength 12, and bravery 11, decisions 13, position 11, reflexes 11, one-on-ones 11, his handling and kicking could do with some work, his aerial reach is 14, his command area 7, and communication 7. So you've got him basically until the end of the season. Use him. This guy will, in your division, he will grow and grow and grow slightly. And if he can keep trying to renew his loan for 2 or 3 seasons while you make it the division, that'll be absolutely fantastic. But George Legg, one to watch in this division, along with your other 2 fullbacks, which are fantastic. So if we just click potential, again, you can see we've got Taylor, Shorey, Legg, and we've got one more player who's sort of there. It's James Clark, and he can play attack midfielder, right wing, or up front. He's 19 years old. He's wanted by Leamington and Dorchester, who seem to be wanting all your players. Dorchester, nothing home to shout home about in the sort of stats wise, but he's potential to be a key member of your first team squad. So the coaches obviously rate him highly, and he's down as a hot prospect. Again, not tied down to a contract. He's played 41 games so far and scored 4 goals. He's got 11 pace, 13 acceleration, and you can see there's the odd. There's one double-figure 10 in there, but there's the odd 9 and 8, so he hopefully will go up in the world. He's definitely down as a winger, which is fantastic. Just get him bombing up and down the wing. Hopefully the overlap with the fullbacks, he should combine quite well with the man Reece, but that's James Clark. Schedule-wise, so you can see you get 4 friendlies, and you get one against Swindon Town, which is one of your affiliates, which is fantastic. If you can arrange another friendly, there's the dates there, and basically you try and get large reputation teams. You can see here, let's say AS Monaco Reserves, 10k. You pay them 10k, so you would make 10,500, and you would get 500. You would get the 500 quid. So if you can get this sort of large reputation teams, Marseille Reserves, anybody, try and get a few friendlies with them. It doesn't matter, but always make sure that whatever fee you're paying, you still get some form of income, and you'll also get the experience. So large reputation teams, similar reputation teams, just go through, find out who you can get with money next to their name, and you will, if you make 3, 4, 5 friendlies, you could potentially make a couple of grand, 4 or 5 grand, and you never know, it might end up on TV. So that's a little a little cheat to make money essentially, especially if you've got Olympique Marseille reserves, because they sometimes send some big players. But you can see you've got loads of space here. The light green, the light green is obviously the first friendly you can put in, but the dark green is obviously that sort of area where you've got other friendlies you can squeeze in. So that's a little tip for the top for getting some money, which is fantastic. But that's let's just leave that. But that's Hungerford Town, an absolutely fantastic but extremely hard challenge team to go. You can see they've got no budget, they've got one good player, and they're pretty much destined to be fighting relegation. 12 players out of contract. You've also got a few players wanted by other teams. So this was the first in the series of our hardest challenge saves to go in Football Manager 2017. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to FM Scout. There's loads of fantastic content from loads of fantastic content creators. Like the video, which would be absolutely fantastic. Leave any comments below on Hungerford Town if you've went them or you've played against them, how you've got on with them, any sort of tips, tricks for the rest of the viewers, which would be absolutely fantastic. Also in the description below will be the FM Scout website. If you're looking to download face packs, tactics, graphics, then FM Scout website is the place to be. Absolutely fantastic. That's where I got my face pack and a few of my tactics from as well. So it's a brilliant resource. Please use it. It's great. And don't forget, also in the description below will be my channel. Again, if you like Scottish content, or if you don't, or you wish to try something else, loads of Let's Play series on there. I really appreciate that. But thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next episode of the hardest challenge saves in Football Manager 2017.